All right, now we are live. This is going to the internet. Broadcast is all over the world. No, I'm just playing. So first and foremost, like I just really want to thank you for coming on, being because it's scary, being invited to a podcast and be like, oh, I don't know what they're gonna ask me, right? Because I don't tell you what I'm gonna ask you or anything like that or set it up in any way. But usually I like to spend the first like 10 to 15 minutes just catching up, like really, really low key, and then we'll get into the questions that I prepared. But what do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing really. I'm just trying to get my life back together.
Yeah, you were telling me about your sleep.
Yeah, my sleep schedule's all messed up. All out of whack. So yeah, just catching up on like assignments and I don't know. I wonder what the weather's gonna be like because I'd like to lay outside.
No, it was beautiful earlier this week. Oh my goodness.
It's still really pretty now with the snow, but I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, because it's such a dramatic change from being. It was 80 this week on a Wednesday. And then Thursdays when it kind of like, oh, it's cloudy, but it was still nice out. Like you could be out with just like a small sweater. Yeah. And now you need like a jacket and maybe a beanie. Yeah. If you're, not used to the cold. But man, I really, as soon as it was Monday, I was like, oh, this is so nice. Yeah. I put on my pair of shorts. Like I brought them out from their hibernation because it's been so cold lately. Yeah. So I brought them out and I was like, finally. And riding the bike as well.
Yeah, I just like to lay outside. I just love to lay. Being horizontal,
but not being asleep though, right? Just laying there, right?
Just laying. It's so nice. Or just like soaking up the sun like a little lizard. I like having lizard time. So yeah, those are my plans for this weekend. If it
clears up.
Yes. How about you?
For me, I think so. I need to do my taxes. That's first and foremost. Yes. I just tax. I think today is the last day or tomorrow is the last day I need taxes. So if anyone else that needs to do taxes, you better get on them. Yeah, do your taxes.
Okay, but does it really matter? Like,
pay Uncle Sam. Well, it's only if you make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, I don't think I do them, but I'm not really sure. And I'm
yeah, don't take legal or tax advice from Gracyn.
I don't know anything that's going on.
But yeah, I need to do those. Finish them up, and then tomorrow's Saturday. I need to do a lot of editing. That's for sure. Because I was telling you I had made another video before this, so I need to make sure that's out and ready before Sunday.
Look at you go.
So there's a lot. It's a lot of work, that's coming in. But that should be nothing I'm not used to. More sleepless nights. That's for sure.
What movies? Like, you said you put on movies earlier while you edit.
Yeah.
So what do you watch these days?
Me and my friend Aubrey. I don't know if you know him. We were watching Drunken Master. So it's this Jackie Chan movie, like 1970s, 1960s kung fu movie, and they overdub it because I think it was originally in Cantonese or in Chinese. And they overdub it with English so that they'll be speaking for a little bit, and then you'll hear the audio like 5 seconds later. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's a funny movie, but there's a lot of choreography in it. So a lot of like free movies on YouTube because there's free movies.
Yeah.
So they just run ads, like a lot of ads. So like they'll play for 5 minutes and then they'll run another ad. So I watched that Drunken Master, and then there was Robots. You remember that movie, like that animated movie with Big Weld?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like depicting New York City and stuff.
That's supposed to be New York City.
From my understanding, yeah.
No, that was like one of our like what's it called, road trip movies.
Oh, okay.
Up. So I know like everything that happens like from the back. I love that movie.
So that's you guys had the baller car where it had the TV screens?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was that was like our main car. My dad like got it for because we went on so many road trips all the time. I don't even remember what for, but I was just in the car and like watching.
You got it tricked out by what is it called? Pimp My Ride. Did you ever watch that show? With Exhibit? Oh my goodness. So basically the basis of the show was like they take a car, someone's car. They're like, hey, we write to the show like, hey, I want you to pimp my ride. Essentially every custom modification that they did was like put TVs everywhere. And it was like 2006, 2008. So they would put like a flat screen TV. And at that time, like flat screens weren't very thin. So they were very heavy. So they would put like probably like a 20 or 30 inch in the trunk with like a bunch of speakers. And that's basically what they did to every car. And now that's what I tell everyone. Like, dang, you're rolling in style. So rolling like exhibit over here.
That's so funny. I've definitely heard of that, but no, I haven't seen it.
It was like MTV.
I really want, whenever I get my first car, which I'm hoping I'm going to talk to my dad because I'm like, hey, father, don't you want to be independent? But anyway, yeah, there's this one like artist who puts like Afghan, like beautiful silk rugs like in the
upholstery.
Like switches them out, and like I don't need it to be that fancy, but like that's what I want to do.
No, but
I want to have like nice
I do
rugs
feel
I
do feel like that's your style because you have a very distinct style, and I think that's one of the things that I want to get into, especially with you. But no, that like especially the custom modifications when it comes to like upholstery and stuff, like it can get really expensive, like crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's your car.
No, I feel like I can just like find rugs at like a thrift store and like cut them up and like staple them. I'm gonna probably. You're
gonna find the cheapest way to do it. Yeah. Well, or you can always like find a way to do it yourself, right? Like kind of cut the rug, but also find a way so it makes it look not as janky, you know.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
Because there's always this. I remember they would do these in like the '70s vans, like the Astro vans, where they would put carpeting on the inside of vans, and it would look like super weird, like in Cheech and Chong. I don't know if you've ever watched these movies.
No, I want to get I feel like something I want to like get into in my early adulthood is like movies. I feel like there's so many things.
It's so easy though. It's so easy. Like, okay, so when you do homework, and this is the strategy that I use.
You should.
When I do homework, I rarely cannot do it in like silent. It's just the way I have to have music, or I have to have like a podcast or a movie playing in the back. Sometimes I'll turn off the audio so that way I don't like, oh, what's going on in the movie, and then look back at it or something like that. Or I'll keep it very, very low to where I can't even understand what they're saying.
Okay. But then are you like watching it?
Not really. So you just like look back at it, but it's still you pick up major plot lines because you can see you'll miss most of the minor details. You're like, oh damn, how'd they get from this place to this place? Oh, what are they doing? And that's mainly how I consume a lot of the content is like while I'm doing homework or like while I'm editing and stuff, I'll have that stuff like playing in the background. Yeah. So that, I mean, I don't know how you work, as you have to like sit down and watch it and like analyze every.
Yeah, I have to have like blinders sometimes, like when I'm like doing homework, because I'll just get so distracted. I'll get so invested in the movie. I'm like, this is way more. Or like less work for my brain to be doing.
No, that's true, and it happens to me too. Like I'll have to like switch off a movie and put on a podcast sometimes. For the most part, I'll put movies. Yeah, but no, it definitely takes a lot of time for sure to get into movies and like to recognize it. But it's a really cool, like you could then start seeing, and I don't know if you've seen this. I think it's called Community. It's about like a community college.
Donald Glover's in that.
Yeah. You remember Ahmed, the guy that he's not really.
I think so.
Is that his name?
I'm not sure. I wasn't that into it. I watched like the first.
But it was like Donald Glover's like friend.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
And so he's super into movies, and he starts like basing all of the social situations based off of the movies that he's seen. So he's like, oh, you know what that reminds me of? That movie. And then he'll explain the plot line. Cute. But it's true. Like you'll start recognizing it really, really like, oh damn, that's kind of like, you know, like this. Like that's what I was telling you in that Bible class. Like I'm connecting it to some of the movies. I'm like, oh, that's tight.
See, that's what I want to see. And I think it's so beautiful, just like the art of it all. And I love like Wes Anderson, and I've been watching like studio, I think it's Ghibli. I always want to say Ghibli, but movies. But yeah, I would love to get more into it, because I feel like everyone all the time is like, oh, have you seen this movie? Do you know this person? I'm like, no, I have no idea. Yeah. So, and
then you kind of feel excluded out of it.
I want to be with the big kid.
Yeah. No, that's always a struggle, because I mean, sometimes you can be included in the conversation, certain conversations that maybe the people that you're with aren't really into. And then when they get into like their niche, I guess you could call it, you're just like, damn. Like with me, especially with the podcast, like, not many people have podcasts, right? Yeah. So I can't really get into the conversations there. But when I do, like when I find people outside of DU and they're like, oh yeah, I'm using this camera, and like get into little communities, it's cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Your niche. It's not really. I don't know if you feel like it's like you're feeling excluded or something like that.
I mean, kind of, but I think it's like beautiful to find people who are like share your mutual interests. Like you said with the art. I don't know. I take a lot of art classes, so yeah, meeting them and like it's so weird. Like they just like understand you on a level. It's like you don't even have to. Like you're just so similar in that aspect.
Yeah.
Or like I used to think I was like there's this brand of. It's like kind of like a sustainably made brand. It's called Veja. It's a French brand. They do a lot of shoes and like you can like track like where the resources are like made from. Like, everything. And so I was like, oh, I'm so cool and I have these shoes. And then like everyone in the art schools like was wearing them. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I thought it was different. But,
and you're like you're the normie one. Yeah. No, that's crazy. Because I've been even trying to do that, and I think you were another big push for that, even if you didn't know that. But when we first met, we were coming out of Claire's house, and I remember you had these shoes with the cut in them.
Oh yeah,
they were like the Margellas, right? Or
Margiela. They're not the real ones. Those are like,
but they looked like them, right? And as soon as I was like, oh, I recognize those. I was like, oh, those are the real ones, or and you're like, no, they're this and that. Well, after that, I started looking into local brands, and I found that there's a brand that someone who came to the U, he's an alumni. It's named Law.
Okay.
Law Designs.
L-A-W.
L-A-A-W.
Okay.
And it's named Law because it's after the law of attraction, right? Oh. So they make jackets. He makes jackets, but what's interesting is that they have these Velcro patches on them. So essentially you can buy new patches and redesign the jacket to make it look new. So they have the jackets, they also have the hats, and now I think they're doing beanies. But if not, then he gave me a unreleased beanie, which is kind of cool. Oh wow. But yeah, so all out of there I was able to interview him, and I was like, yeah, I want to start finding more local brands and local artists, because there's a lot of cool stuff that's going on out there that sometimes you just can't, or you don't have your nose in the right place. I think that's the best way to put it.
No, I'm happy you brought that up. Our first meeting, I was thinking of that on the walk over here, and I was just like, oh, that was so sweet and special, because I remember when I thought about the shoe interaction, and you were just like so like non-judgmental and open-minded about it, and like so you can like truly like see that. Or like anytime I see you on campus, you always have the biggest smile on your face. I was like, oh, he is so sweet and just like a little ball of sunshine.
No, thank you.
But I was thinking back on that fondly. I love those people who you meet that are just like so open-minded and non-judgmental at all. They're my favorite people.
Or that they always have like, they're always positive, you know, which sometimes, that could be a mask, because I've done that as well too, where you try to see them as, as positive as possible, and, just being upfront about it. Like, there's times where it's like, not everything's great, but you're like, it's easier to put on a front and do that. But no, it's true. Those people, they definitely give you inspiration, and I think there's some of like they're a good mood booster. I think that would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, no, I love like those little people, and it's like, oh well, life really is beautiful. Like a little reminder.
Yeah, just for you to step out of your shell and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Why am I stressing? But so this is your last quarter, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh well, undergraduate quarter.
Yes.
And then you have your master's that you already started. Has the pressure started yet? Because I know you were talking about that.
Yeah,
at Lydia's birthday.
It's honestly kind of been the worst academic year of my life. I am just really. It's been like I love it, but also it's so hard. It's just so hard. I'm so burnt out, and I've been struggling with depression and anxiety, and it's just like everything is like at its peak right now. And I think like next year will be a lot better with just master's classes. I'm just trying to finish my undergrad right now. Yeah. My only class for undergrad is Wines of the World, so that's nice.
Yeah, you were telling me. You can go get drunk, hypothetically.
Oh, no, hypothetically, but honestly, you pour your own servings. Like it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm like, I know, and I don't even like. It's a half. It's like an ounce. and a half, I think, is a shot. However much a shot is.
I think
yeah, and that's too much for me. That's too much wine. I'll like leave the class feeling like icky. I'm like, I need to go eat something. It's like 2 p.m. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so that's been nice, but it's been really hard, and they changed the program that I'm in, so now it's like easier on everyone's mental health. So you like can't take as much master's classes, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good. I'm glad I did it, but it is really hard, and I'm just like and I'm like unlearning a lot of, because I used to be, I talked about this with my therapist yesterday.
Yeah.
So this is exclusive.
This is
Gracyn
fresh.
Hill, yeah, fresh. Yeah, I feel like I'm like trying to figure out who I am, because for so long I was a straight A student, teacher's pet, like that was my whole life, was just school. And so now I'm like, okay, that is actually not what I want. I don't really, I would like to be happy outside of school. And like, there's so much more to school. And like, it was just such a drain on my mental health. Like there's so much more to life than just academics.
And unlearning old habits is very difficult.
Yeah. So I'm like, who am I? And like trying not to beat myself up. I'm like, for the first time in my life, I'm like turning things in late, or like just not doing assignments if they're like not like actually that worth it.
Yeah.
So, which I don't know. I'm trying to like keep a really neutral mind about it, and like be positive, and like focus on like self-love and like mental health and everything. But it is hard.
Perfect. Oh, you just brought up the holy grail topic, which is really what I wanted to center this topic around as well, because it's been coming up, with other people that I've been on the podcast as well. But this act of self-love is like, I never like, me going through these 20 years now. I'm gonna be 21 in a couple of weeks now, which is 10 days.
Oh, are you a Taurus?
Yes, I am.
That makes sense. you give Earth energy.
So that realization, like,
happy
I'm
birthday.
turning. Thank you. Happy early birthday. But that realization is like, yo, if I don't start taking care of myself, taking care of my health, of like the way I work and how efficient I can be, especially like when you're talking about tools and stuff like that. I don't have to stay up as late anymore. If I don't start looking out for myself, no one else will. Yeah. Like once I leave here, because in the sense, it's like, I'm gonna be completely alone. I'm gonna be in the workforce, and it's like, I need to start building these practices now so I can get used to them when shit does hit the fan.
That's true. And I think it's good to have that strong foundation in yourself, but I think it's also important to be like, there's also community. And I think we try to separate ourselves from community so much, but that's all, like, I feel like humans like try to separate ourselves from the fact that we're animals and like need each other.
Would you say that's more an American?
I would think, for sure.
Right?
Like the individualistic society. For sure. But yeah, so you'll always have, when shit does hit the fan or whatever, when life happens, like, your family, your friends. But
that is true.
It's good to also like have that strong foundation in yourself.
But yeah, that's something I'm like, bro, you need to start like eating healthy. You need to start getting to bed on time. You need to start like actually taking care of your health. Because for a long time, and I'll be, blatantly honest, like I would not like take care of my, and I look back on it, I'm like, yo, that was nasty. Like, what was I doing?
It's okay.
But it took that time to where it'd be like, hey, you know what, start changing it. And it's only gonna work better for you, because then people are gonna see that you value yourself, right? And then from there, then they can start valuing you. Yeah. Because that was one of the big things that I always felt like, why aren't people valuing me? Like I do all this stuff. It's like, well, bro, you need to start with yourself. So I think that's a good thing that you bring it up, because you can get lost in it so quick, and especially when you have mountains of work, like you're saying, on top of it. Yeah, that can go in the back burner so easy. Yeah,
I've also, because I'm an RA and I'm on graduate student government, which I basically all of last quarter I just didn't go to the meetings. I feel so bad. And then just trying to be a person. I used to work the desk, but I'm taking like a break. Okay. My family's been supporting me, which I'm so like thankful and privileged to be able to like not have to do that. But, my mental health has just been such shit. So sorry, I said a bad word.
No, don't worry about it. This is I own this. We can do whatever we want.
I'm in trouble. I feel like I'm in trouble. So it's been a lot, but taking it day by day, that's good. Yeah, definitely like setting the foundations. Also, like sleep is so important for your body, for your brain.
I still struggle with that one. I'm like, yo, I don't know. Sometimes it's like I work and then like I get a lot of work done, And then it gets to like that point, it's like midnight, 1 a.m. I'm like, I still have a lot of energy. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
And then I'll get into a rabbit hole, or I'll start working on, you know, some new projects, or looking at different things and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, you don't have to be doing all this. Like, you could just go to bed. But I don't know. I get super excited, and then I just stay up, and then it's like the next day, it's like, oh, you have a class. All right, we got to go to class. Like, there's no other way around it. I'm not going to skip. But that's definitely one thing I do need to, you know.
No, me too. It's funny you say that. Like, it'll be like midnight on a Monday, and I'll be like, guys, let's do something. And then they're like, Gracyn, it's bedtime, and I have class tomorrow. And I'm like, well, just like twiddle my thumbs in my room. But
I have this one friend that he's kind of the similar, but in the opposite, he won't get up for class. Like, he'll be like 12, 10 p.m. And he's like, hey, we should do game night tonight, guys. What are we doing? What's the moves? And then it's like, everyone's like, nah, man, like, you need to stop. Like, no, we're not doing anything. And he'll end up staying up on, like, either alone or like doing stuff with other people. And then he gets up at like 12, 1, 2, 3 the next day. I'm like, bruh, how do you do this? How do you keep up this lifestyle, man?
People are crazy.
No, yeah. People. Yeah. I had a bunch of friends in high school that they would like get 3-4 hours. And I'm like, how are you operating right now? Like, what is going on?
Where did you do high school? Are you originally from Colorado?
Yeah, I'm from Denver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where did you do?
I went to high school in Arupe Jezo High School. So it's close to North High School, close to Lakeside.
I don't know what any of those words mean, but I'm happy for you.
Are you from Colorado as well?
I was born here, but not really. And then I just came back for my college.
From where?
Okay.
Okay, so where did you live for the most of your life?
I don't know. I was born in Colorado, and then when I was like a few months old, we moved to Illinois, and so I was there for 9 years, and then we moved to Idaho, and I was there for 5 years, and then we moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and then I was there for like 5 years, and then during COVID, while I had already been in it was my freshman year, my family moved to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I don't feel from anywhere. Like, I feel like
you're just a vagabond, right?
I am. Yeah, I don't know.
A nomad from all over, huh?
Just trying to figure out. I know
that must feel pretty crazy.
It was, and honestly, like, I don't blame my parents at all or anything, but it was really hard. And I think like studies are showing, like, they're coming out, but the more you move, like, the more depressed you are, like like prone to addiction or like suicidal,
because nothing feels known to you, right?
Yeah, like, there's not that sense of community I think that we need so much.
Yeah,
and it's just like you're constantly being uprooted, and then like, and I would finally find like a friend group and like start like fitting in, and like, be like, okay, like, these are my friends, and then we move again. And now, like, every time I go back to Oklahoma, I'm like, how do people make friends? Like, what do I do?
Yeah,
like, I'm not in school. I don't know anything. I'm like barely. So I'm like, hello.
Isn't that a strange concept though? Like, once we graduate, how do you make friends outside? You just show up somewhere, and then you're just like, hey man, how you doing? My name is Ali. Nice to see you. Like, that's literally all it is. And it's weird. It's a weird concept because I've gone to school for 18 years now or something like that, or 16, right? 16 years. And it's like school has been the only thing that's been tying me to be able to like interact with people. And that's like a strange thing to like think outside of school. It's like, holy crap. I have to like just be somewhere, and then I'll make friends.
I'm sure I'll have no issue making friends. Whatever podcasts you're doing, you're very talkative. Also, I think like my sister will like go to like pottery class and like make herself like do things, or like she has like a women's group where they like talk about crystals and so I think that you just have to like get out of your comfort zone, I think. But
that is true.
I know, but for the most of my life I was like also such a shy, introverted kid, so that was so hard for me. And like, I'm such like a sensitive little feeler, so it was a lot. But anyway, so you lived in Colorado your whole life then?
Yeah, all my life. I don't know if I want to move. It's a nice city, but
is all your family here too?
They are,
That's super nice.
For the most part, I think only on my dad's side, there's a couple of relatives that they are in Mexico. And then...
Do you ever go visit?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
In Mexico City.
Oh, beautiful. I've never been, but I'm sure that looks like it.
Yeah. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where he grew up or where they live for the most part is it's like a smaller, well, it's not small. The city's huge. Like, I'm gonna be honest there. But like the community is like very low income, but it's a very nice culture. Like a very beautiful culture within that.
Yeah, like alive.
Yeah. And it's moving. Like, it's true. Mexico City is the New York of Mexico. Like everything is just moving constantly all the time.
Wow, that sounds
at
good.
every hour. But yeah, it's definitely changed since when my dad was growing up there but I haven't gone in a while. But now that I'm studying abroad.
Where are you studying abroad?
In Yucatan.
Okay. That's awesome.
So in Mexico, so I may be able to have, an opportunity to go visit, some family. So saludos a todos los familiares. We may be able to get over there, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'm just waiting for the passport, which I kind of messed up there. I lost the receipt to the tracking number.
Uh-oh. That's okay.
But I saw online yesterday that you could track your process of your application for the passport online, or you can call.
Okay.
So
that's good.
That reassured my worries.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
It'll be so good.
That's usually my motto. Like, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen that dog where like the house is burning around?
Oh yeah.
Everything's fine. And he's just sitting there. Everything's fine.
I feel. That's been my grad school experience.
So you have just one whole, like 3 more quarters of grad school.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Grad or masters, right?
Masters.
Masters.
Yeah.
It's the same thing? Okay, yeah.
Because then there's like PhD also, but which I might want to get, but I don't know.
Really?
Well, maybe not for a while.
What attracts you to it?
I was like as a little girl, I always wanted to grow up and be a doctor. Like at first it was like I wanted to be a vet. Well, really early I wanted to be a panda.
Like medical. Oh, wait.
Well, okay, I thought I was gonna transform. Like,
okay.
I thought it was like everyone was like, Gracyn, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, panda.
Hell yeah.
Bear. Or like maybe I'm a pig. I wanted to be a stinky pig and I wanted to roll in the mud. And
you could still do that, right?
Yeah.
Like you can just.
Yeah, those are my weekend plans. I forgot to say that earlier. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go find a mud pit.
And then just
honestly, I would. And
I forgot to mention. That's funny.
And what was I saying? Oh, and then I just love animals, so I wanted to be a vet. And I'm really passionate about animals and like the environment, so I'd love to maybe figure something out there career-wise. But anyway, then I was like, okay, a doctor, because I wanted to help people. And then I was like thinking about doing Doctors Without Borders. I'm really interested in like neurology and neuroscience, so I want to be a neurosurgeon for a good bit, all of high school. And then I was like, actually, I hate math, and I want an exchange to Italy. And then I was like, actually, I love people and politics and culture, and like we have this one life. Like, let's make it better for other people.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at now. But why did I bring this up? Doctor. Oh,
because you always want, the PhD.
Yeah. So I feel like if people are like Miss or Mrs., and I'd be like doctor, like I feel like that'd be like a childhood dream that like I fulfill. And also like I love academia. Like I it's just been easy for me to understand.
And someone else put it, it's like they love to learn, right?
Yeah.
They love to keep studying, but they want to put it in the right effort, like in the right direction, to where they'll be, always passionate about it. And I think that's that struggle of like, do I want to keep doing it, or have I found that thing that I'm like, kind of passionate about it, where I'm going to invest this more time into it, which is difficult. But no, that the academia, I see it a lot. And it's like, it is interesting to be in classes. Like I was just saying, like I'm taking all these weird courses,
I love that.
like just like,
what else have you taken besides
Russian?
Oh, that's cool.
Right? I was like,
say something in Russian.
Меня зовут Илья. Как у вас дела? Сегодня очень холодно. So I just said, hello, my name is Ilya, which is my Russian name, my name Russified.
Russified.
How are you doing? Today it's very, very cold.
I love that. Thank you. The whole time you were speaking, I was like, wow, this is beautiful.
It's a very interesting when you start learning a different language that isn't your first. Because then you start to reshape the way you think about the language, right? Like you think in terms of nouns and verbs instead of just like a message. You start thinking about the actual like building blocks of it, which is kind of a different way to think about it.
I think it's super interesting the way, like, I don't know, like language like shapes your brain. Like the way that you have, some language will have words for things that others won't. And it's like, you can't fully translate it. I guess you have to just like experience the language. Or like, I think it is Russian maybe, but there's like a shade. There are 2 words for blue. And so they're really good distinguishing like different shades of blue more than other people are, because they have those words for it in their languages, which I think is super cool. Like, we're just shaped by our words, like kind of.
Well, no, it's true. There's another example. Poslat and atpravliat. I think atpravliat means to send or dispatch more officially. So like if you're sending documents, it's a more official, sending. Poslat means to just like send a message, send something informal. And there's that difference, right? There's 2 words for the same meaning, and you can, express differently for different situations. This is really cool.
Yeah, crazy. But are you feeling? Sorry, I just hit everything. Are you feeling the 3 shots? I tried to drug him, everyone. I asked him what coffee he wanted, and he said the same thing you're getting. Yeah. And so I said 2 shots of espresso, please, but they gave us 3. But I don't taste it. But are you feeling it in your body?
I feel okay.
I'm feeling a little hyper right now.
Yeah, but that's good. You don't feel the nerves, right? You're not as nervous as you were. But yeah, no, I'm feeling fine. Maybe it's that lack of sleep. I'm feeling just leveled out. But no, it's really good. Thank you for that, by the way. Of course. Let's take a break. Let me put some music on, and then
a potty break.
We'll do a potty break. No, I'm just playing. Welcome back, everyone, from wherever you're listening to, on whatever platform and whatever headspace you're in today. We welcome you, and we welcome you, and we also want to wish you a beautiful day. I have someone very special, someone that also emanates this very happy spirit. I have Gracyn. What is your last name?
It's Hill.
Gracyn Hill.
Yes.
Gracyn Hill. So we actually, and most of my guests, we all go to DU here. And we actually met through a connection of friends of ours, Lydia. Shout out to Lydia. She's a big supporter of Divest. And we'll, shout out to her. But yeah, like we had talked about, me and Gracyn met at a party with Claire at her house, and we saw everyone was like, they knew everyone. They were kind of joining their clique or their circle, and me and Gracyn were just like, hey, I don't know you. And they're like, yeah, I don't know you either. And then Lydia kind of stepped in and said, hey, this is, my good friend of mine. Y'all should, get to know each other. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. If she's cool with Lydia, she's cool with me. That was basically that was my idea. And from there, like we really don't, hang out regularly, but it's always, a pleasure to see you around
you too.
Around campus.
Like, smiley face. And I like all this is so cool. Like it comes up on my feed, the when you did with what's his face? Brandon Scheller.
Ah, okay,
yeah. I saw you did his podcast with him.
Yeah, that was early stages of it.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to him. He's out there in Kansas City, I think.
Yeah. He's so cool.
He moved back home. Yeah, he's very driven now. Now that he's got, he's graduated. He's doing his own thing. He's doing the adulting full time now.
Does anyone know what they're doing? Like, do you just like, I like look at people and I'm like, like when you're like a little kid and like you're doing activity, like kind of scared, so you don't really know what's going on, so you're like looking at other people and watching what they're doing.
You're like
doing it. Yeah, I feel like that's how I'm doing it. I'm like, what?
Hello. Usually what I do is like I have that same feeling. I'm like, yo, what is everyone? Okay, I see that they're doing stuff. Let me just pick anything that like I feel like interests me and just run with it and just go. that's about I never do pre-planning, like, oh, how far can this go to? What's the scale of this? Or like, what, is this really going to pay? I'm like, no. If it's right in front of you, if the opportunity's there, just do it.
Yeah.
And that's literally what I've been doing for a couple months now. And it's thankfully it's worked out, but I don't know. I just feel like there's one day it's just going to be like, it's going to come down crashing, but I'm going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, maybe. And even if you aren't, that's okay.
But we had mentioned style.
Yes.
And as you can see, most of the clothes that I have, and this is a little like, I'm going to set it up for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the clothes that I have, I feel like it's designated for like 40-year-old men that go,
they are stylish,
fishing, or that they pull out the New Balances on the weekend with the long white socks. I generally feel that a lot of the clothes I have is not appropriate for the age that I am.
Me too.
And that's mainly because a lot of the clothes that I get is hand-me-downs. I really don't like to go buy clothes, especially new clothes, especially with this fast fashion and stuff. But the thing is, I'm like, yo, I look so much like, people tell me like, yo, you look old. Like, you look like a teacher, you look like a principal, you look like, and I'm like, damn, I need to step this up. And you came into the picture because we had mentioned that Margielas and all this. I was like, you always look stylish. You always find a way to make, things that, I don't know if you want to call it different or wacky, or like, they're very colorful and vibrant, or even, very simple. Like the outfit that you have today is very simple, but it looks really good.
Thank you.
So where did you get this sense of style? Where did you get this interest?
Well, I want to circle back to your fashion because I love 40-year-old men. I love their style. I love fishermen, and also like hand-me-downs. I like, that's so beautiful to like, that was someone's and like now it's yours.
Yeah.
And
it's mainly my brother. Shout out to my brother. He always tells me like every 2 months, he's like, hey bro, I got more clothes that doesn't fit me. And it's mainly his clothes from like high school, or like when he was, because now he's a little chunkier. He's grown into his body, a little bit. And most of the clothes that he had like before, especially when he met his wife, like when they were
married.
first, he's married.
He's married too.
Crazy. And like before he met, like when they were dating, he was very skinny, like very, very, very skinny. And then as they got together, they got that relationship weight. So all that clothes that he bought at that time, he like hands to me, and I'm like, hey, yes.
That's cute. How long have they been married for?
They actually just got married last year in October.
Wow. That's really similar.
October 27th. I remembered it. Yeah, October 27th.
Wow, look at you, good brother.
Yeah, it's because he actually gave me a gift, which I don't have it with me. It's in the car, but it's a.
I thought you were about to pull it out of your pocket.
No,
you gave me this. I carry it with me everywhere.
It's a knife.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a blade, and it has the date on there, and he gave it to me as the best man.
Aww.
So it has the date 8/27. No, when's October 10?
Yeah.
10/27, 2022. Like inscribed in the thing, and then on the handle it has my name, ALI, which is so cool. So cool as a gift, as a concept.
I was my brother's best man too. Crazy. Wow. But yes, okay. I love hand-me-downs. I think that's so sweet and underrated. My sister is where the fashion came from.
Okay.
She is so cool and like very stylish and very like, I feel like kind of sure in who she is, and like has like a confidence, or like a, I don't know, like she's always been like stylish or like more like hipster, and then I would always get her clothes, and like then I started kind of branching out and like coming to college and coming into myself, kind of figuring out, I still am definitely figuring out who I am, but I like timeless, like I usually, anytime I do buy clothes, I try to buy with the intention of like, I want to have this piece with me for like the rest of my life, and like give it to, I don't know,
or make it work with various different,
like versatile, so it's not like a waste of like the material, the fabric, and like and I try not to buy like polyester, even though like that's basically impossible these days. But I don't know, I'm still figuring it out. I like art teacher vibes, kind of. So then
how do you put things together? Because that's one of the things that I'm like really, really struggling with. I'm like, yo, how do I put, like, today I was like looking at, okay, so I have, a slim jean, but then I have a baggy shirt. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if it's slim, you got to go slim.
I don't think so. I think you can do. I like doing baggy and baggy, which is I think feel like controversial.
And it's a very that's very popular and coming in now.
I've liked it for a while. Like all of my I guess I was a follower of the skinny jean trend earlier, but I kind of figured out like I love wide leg, like loose baggy pants, and then I don't know. So I do like baggy, or a lot of people do baggy tight. I don't know. You can do anything though. I feel like you just need like the confidence to do it. Or I don't know, like little things like detailed. Like if there's a pair of jeans that like something's a little bit different about it, like it has like a different kind of hemming, or like you can see the hemming like on the. I don't know, like it's just detailed in the way that it's sewn, and like that shows through, or like there's more pockets or things. Like I think like simple but like a little bit elevated is like kind of what I try to like look for and like find like the things. I like each individual item to have like a little bit of personality.
Oh, okay.
Or like I don't know. So finding things that I guess I don't really know. I'm trying to find what my thoughts along as I'm speaking out loud. I don't really know what I'm saying, but no, it literally works. I love that, and also you're doing complementary colors right now. If you don't know that, blue and brown. I'm pretty sure.
So that's another thing. I make a lot of thumbnails for my videos, and there's a color wheel, and I've been learning about the complementary colors of the opposite colors on each other end. Now there's a triad complementary where you can, you know
so much.
So but that's the thing. I'm like, I know the colors, but then I don't have that in my what you call arsenal, right? I don't have those colors in my wardrobe because I'm only limited to what I have. Like, and I'm like, I think I need to make some stops either to the thrift store or to go to the mall and then get those pieces that are like, these are the pieces that I'm gonna be wearing. Like, I like to wear a lot of jackets. Like that's why I actually just bought my first jean jackets, which I think they're gonna be with me for a while last year, and I've struggled so much to like make them work, but now I'm like figuring it out. I'm like, okay.
I think like a lot of it, like monochrome too, that works out really well. Or I don't know. I think you just have to be like comfortable in your. That's kind of what because I feel like I still don't really like branch out of my comfort zone. Like I feel like fashion wise, you just have to like be comfortable in your body and like. I don't know. I think no one actually really cares. Like, it's not important. Like, as long as I like it as a form of self-expression. Like, I think that's really the biggest thing for me. Like, I feel more myself, and I love just wearing a cute little outfit. I don't know. Like, it just makes everything a little bit better. But it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need a cute little outfit, and some people they don't. Like, whatever works for you. And also like you don't need to. If you're like looking for, a lot of the staple pieces I have, like I find from thrift stores or like, I don't know. I think it's like.
And how often is this search for new pieces and stuff like that?
It's very not often.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Every once in a while I'll go to the thrift store, especially more when I'm home. But usually I get more clothes like Christmas and my birthday. Like that's what I ask for is just like jewelry or clothes or something. But yeah, very rarely. But my sister, she does give me a lot of her clothes, so that's kind of nice.
Now, do you use Instagram or do you use like your own eye? Like when you're out in public, do you notice people are like, oh, they're a similar frame to me and they look good in this? Is that usually how you get inspiration for stuff, or is it mainly through like online or?
Honestly, anything like old movies.
Okay.
Like something that even if they're like a similar frame or not, like being like, I love like the way I love their pants, or there's something different about them where I'm like, I like that, but a lot of TikTok, honestly, like I'm just, like scrolling through and I'm like, I watch a lot of fashion TikToks. So I'm like, I love the way, and men's fashion too. Like I feel like I dress kind of like masculine a lot of the time.
Well, now it's becoming very unisex, right? Fashion industry is becoming very like you can either wear it as a male or a female and they'll still look good.
Which I'm glad that we're coming to that, because like clothes and things like that isn't gendered. You were talking about earlier, we were talking about the liquid death water. Water.
Yeah, it's man water. This is men. Like testosterone water.
I know, like I think that's so stupid. One of this someone I know, I was like, how are you doing today? And then they were like, so good. Like, I washed my face with like face wash for the first time and I feel so like tingly and renewed. And he was a man and he was like, I just thought that face wash was for women like all these years. And I'm like, you didn't realize you could wash your face? Like, that is so sad. Like, honey. And so I'm happy that he found that. But like, I think that's so sad. Like the marketing for men and world, the such strict binaries, because it's all the same thing and we're not that different. And like, if you want to wear whatever, wear whatever. If you want to do it, like, we're gonna die. We're on a floating rock
Yeah,
in
yeah.
space.
That's
like,
another thing.
Do what brings you joy.
Exactly. But so that does help a lot for me in my personal journey, for my style, because I do want to look nice. That's the thing. I want to look nice. I don't. For a long time, I was just like, as long as I got clothes, I'm cool. I'm straight. Don't.
What do you normally like look for in people, or like what normally catches your eye about like someone's outfit, or like when do you feel the most like confident in what you're wearing?
Usually, I like when I feel the most comfortable is obviously with pants. I don't like them too tight.
Okay.
And I think that there's other people that they share the same views, but I'm like, I used to like baggy pants a lot, but with baggy pants,
like Dickies or like
almost Wrangler jeans, and then also I did wear Dickies for a little bit, but
Dickies are cool.
They're pretty cool, but I don't know. I feel like they're in certain situations that they look too casual. And I want to have that almost business kind of look, but where it's comfortable, where it's not always like suit, but it's like a nice sweater or a nice polo and something slim, and then where you could go, maybe if you want, go for a picnic, but also go to a meeting after, like that type of versatile. That type of versatility.
I think a lot of that can happen with like contrasting, and I kind of do this a lot in like my fashion, but contrasting like wearing something more structured like pants or a shirt, and then having like a loose fitting like bottom or shirt, or but like I don't know, like having something that's a little bit more fancy and then like dressing it down, or like I think that the contrast in the juxtaposition like in someone's outfit, like it really goes a long way. And I feel like it allows you to do like go to a picnic and then go to
and another thing is like that activity part, because I am always like, I'm always doing something.
You are.
I'm always like, and even you can see it, like I did a whole series on my Instagram for 30 days. I uploaded something,
that's awesome.
And every day I was like, yo, for 30 days I was not doing anything, and I recorded all of it. Like I was editing, I was doing groceries, I was cleaning the house, I was like setting up whatever thing in my house, or a light or something like that. I was like, I'm very active, so I gotta take that into consideration, because there's times where it's like in the winter and I'm like wearing all these jackets and I'm burning up. But then I have to carry all these jackets, and then, like, let's say if I go inside the building, it's like it gets too hot.
That's my least favorite part of winter is like, if it's so, I hate when you can like feel the warmth of a building in your nose, like, and you go in, it's freezing outside, and then you go in and you're sweating. It's like, can we all just come together? Let's talk about this. Let's make a comfortable temperature for everyone. Yeah. Doesn't need to be the extremes.
Well, that's what they say about the 70, like the degrees, like 72, 74. But I think it's just an arbitrary number that like, I don't know.
Also, fun fact, office like temperatures and most like temperatures inside, at least in the US, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but it's like made for men and like men's bodies and men's like comfort levels. So women are often a lot colder because it's like made for men. And also the same with like medicine, like studies are male mice, men. It's not really, they don't take into account like menstruation cycles or anything. So just the sexism that's ingrained in everything. But
wow, that is interesting. That's crazy. Fun fact of the day.
It's kind of sad fact, but anyway.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be sad fact. But okay.
Yes.
We were also talking about self-love.
Yes.
Right? How do you keep yourself from, spiraling out of that cycle of self-love? Because I've found, even for me, self-love also takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of like keeping yourself in line. It's like working out almost, but like working out on yourself.
I think a lot of it has to do with like training your brain a little bit, or like training your mind, specifically like around thoughts. And like I've been in therapy for a little bit now, and I'm on 2 antidepressants. I'm on Lexapro and Wellbutrin, and so that's been honestly like I feel like I can breathe. Like I, especially the Lexapro was for severe anxiety, and so after I started taking it, I'm like, wow, I can speak up in class. I can go to a grocery store, and I can do such normal things. And it was like this weight was lifted off of me. But then like with therapy and just like slowly working, like I'm very like, I guess, introspective. That's what I do.
I think even now for you as well, like listening to yourself and the way you feel, like especially how you're talking about, not being a class pet anymore and you're feeling like that's not what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like actually listening to that feeling and not just being like, well, I'm going to school and well, I got to make the best of it and I want to make my name known and stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta advocate for yourself and like listen to your body, listen to your feelings, and like anytime I have like an unhelpful thought, I'm like, okay, noticing it at least and being like, that was unhelpful. Like, what is that gonna add?
So like, how do you like recenter yourself, right? Because there's times where you can stray from the path, which is fine, it's understandable. But like, how do you get back on track? How do you put your GPS on and say like,
I don't know. I don't even know if I am on track. I don't know what. I'm just trying my best. I think that's all you can do. And like I think what has really come a long way is just like I guess when you say self-love, it means to me, I guess it's like taking care of yourself and like your mind, like nurturing your thoughts a little bit and being like, kind of like reparenting, like gentle parenting, but yourself. I love the gentle parenting accounts. So like, I don't know. Sometimes if I ever cry, I'm like, okay, you're having some big feelings. Like, that's okay. Just let it out. Like, it'll be okay. Like, this will pass. Like, just like feel them. Like,
any journaling, any documentation of your thoughts, which is kind of crazy to think of it like that, right? Like,
I do journal. It's not as often as I want because I love like the idea of like, when I die, someone finding it and like reading it.
That's such a cool, right?
I'd love to do that to someone. Like, that's
the whole idea of the podcast.
Yeah, so sweet. If you're listening to this and we're dead,
yes,
hello.
Yes, hi. My name is Ali. We come in peace.
Yeah, I do. I think I don't know. I don't really know how, but I have gotten to a point where I've just put a lot of effort and energy into mental health, and my sister's helped out a lot, but also it's just like truly feeling all of your feelings, like it's so hard, like to just feel everything and like let it pass. I think that's been really helpful for me. And surrounding yourself with like good supportive people, supportive community, I think that's really important too, if you are able to, or just like, I don't know, and doing like a little bit of things that bring you joy every day, or like seeking out. I feel like I seek out the goodness, and like if there's ever like a cute little old man with a little dog and like petting his dog, or being like, oh, like life is so special, and like I want to hold it close. And it does get really, really hard sometimes, and it really is easy to spiral out. But just like, I guess just like for me, when I notice myself starting to like be going unhealthy mindsets or patterns, or like I'm not doing the greatest, I just be like, notice it and be like, okay, like I see you're there now, like that's okay, like let's come back on track, like let's come back in, like let's do something good for you, let's make a nourishing meal for your body, or like make some tea, like. And I found that I'm really good at taking care of other people, so like trying to do that to myself, like if someone else is ever sick, I'm like, let me make you tea, but when I'm sick, I'm like, I don't want to do that, so then forcing myself to
it does happen.
How about you?
Exactly. But
what do you do?
For me, I've found a good shower at any point of the day. If you're feeling, off track, take a shower. And that's sometimes if it's the middle of the day, I'm like,
what is your preferred temperature?
I like a warm shower, not a hot shower, a warm shower, because I know some people go crazy with that heat, where it's like, no, I don't like that feeling. I don't.
Like cold showers,
No, I mean, I've done it before. Like if it's a dire situation, like if it's like I need to wake up.
A dire situation.
Yeah, like let's say it's you're out drinking late night, and then you have like something to do the next day. And you're like, oh, I feel terrible. So usually what I do is I'll shower with warm water, right? Shower, get my body nice and clean, and then the last minute or so, I'll turn all the hot water off, just run the cold water, and woo, you wake up. And but yeah, like usually if I find myself straying away, like, all right, shower. Don't care about what I need to do, or what's due or anything. I usually just block it all out, because then I say like, it's fine, that's not a priority at the moment. This is like it. This needs to be a priority.
Yeah, that's a really good point, like prioritizing yourself, because really like
and turning the other world off, because we live in different worlds. You don't live all in just like Gracyn is a student and that's all she is. No, you have Gracyn as an artist, Gracyn as a you know, a stylist, Gracyn as a daughter, Gracyn as a partner, Gracyn, you know, there's all these different realms within your life that we live in that you just need to kind of, and it's hard to, you just need to put them on do not disturb.
Yeah, I think also, that is a really good point. And something I want to point out is like, I guess like putting things into perspective is a good way of putting it. Of like, a lot of times I see myself getting really stressed out about assignments and schoolwork because I'm a huge procrastinator and I wait till the last minute so often.
High five.
And
although high five, but not high five, but high five.
But it's okay. But just being like, what's the worst? Like, okay, honestly, like, what is the worst case scenario? Okay, like you don't do this, you fail this, you're probably not going to do that. Even that's like worse. And like, so what? You can retake the class. So what? Like options still exist, and like it's good to like get out of like your disaster mindset, anxiety, whatever, and like take a breather and be like, okay, we're here now, we're here in this moment, what can I do in this moment? Take a quick shower, like make a quick cup of tea, go for a walk, like, and then what can we do? What simple, like, not everything on the to-do list, but what needs to be like prioritized now? Like, I don't know, there's a way to do it like gently and with kindness and tenderness that like, I don't know, I feel like the little baby inside, because I feel like we're all just little like 2-year-olds, like we are controlling like big adult bodies. Like
I see the image of like a baby and then like a small oversized or in an oversized tuxedo or like and we're just like
I know, exactly.
And the sleeves are all rolled up and they have to pin them with like clothespins just so they fit. That's what I imagine when you said that.
I definitely have pigtails and I don't know. There's probably like I could cry at any moment. But yeah. No, you're saying about your showers and things.
So showers, and then I think sometimes it's like get a good meal, or if not, go get something to eat. Because usually I don't go out and eat like out.
It's hard.
Food.
Yeah, to feed yourself so often. You have to eat so much food. It's crazy.
And I'm like, fuck, I have to do the dishes after too.
That's the worst part.
So I'm like, sometimes I wish I had that the meal swipes.
Oh yeah, I have so many. You can use mine whenever.
Oh, that's right. You're RA, huh? But I've been doing good on that. Where now it's like, I'll make my sandwiches and my omelet in the morning. I like a scheduled routine. Like I'll buy the same thing almost every week.
Yeah, I mean,
it works. It's food. But if that, and then I think after that, really a good like playlist. Like I have this one go-to playlist.
What is it?
It's called I call it Noise. But it's really like a lot of music that I've been curating over 2 years now.
That's commitment to a playlist.
But it's like the one that always gets me in focus. I don't know if it's just because I've always had it in times of like stress where I'm like, okay, this is gonna mellow me out and I'm gonna be able to work comfortably. But it's not many songs, but I'll play it on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And then that'll help me to like alleviate anything I have. So it's shower, food, and music. Those are really my kind of, I guess you could call it like my GPS back to getting on my path.
Music is crazy. It is so important and so powerful, and like it is an art form like everything else. But I just think it's like so comforting that like people, I don't know, I love it. It makes you feel so much less alone, or it makes me feel at least like that someone else has like experienced the feelings or whatever. Because I listen to a lot of sad girl music sometimes, or like deep. I love the lyrics and the poetry of it, like, and so to like hear that someone else has gone through it and has made something out of it that like I can then relate to, like that's so beautiful. Like a little shared experience. I was like, I don't know that person who made that, but like their words speak to me on a level that like is so impactful.
Or that feeling was so strong for them to be able to, make this art.
Yeah. Or even if it's like a cool fun song, like I don't know.
Yeah,
That's so cool. People are so cool.
They are, and you brought up a really good point when we first started. Like people are so cool. I was like, it's true. We can do a lot of different things.
It's insane that we're just on this planet and like people have created a computer. Like I don't know how to do that. Like that's crazy that that like that happens. And I don't know. We're on a rock.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We used to just do this to rocks. Like
I know.
That's how we started. And now we are doing way more things that are advanced than that, which is wild to think of. But in the sense of people are amazing and people are creative and crazy and do all types of things. What got you into making those earrings?
Oh, I don't make, my friends do actually. Some of them. I don't. I would love to.
But I thought you made your own, or some of them.
No, I would like to. I think maybe I was telling you about these ones. Someone,
you were talking about the crab leg ones.
Oh, I want to make the crab leg ones. Yeah. No, okay. See, that's a work in progress. I'm going to. I'll let you know. For my art class last quarter, we went to the mountain campus, and there was like a little pond that we hiked to, and there were just all of these like crawfish, just like dead.
Yeah.
I was like, their hands are really cool, and that would be like a really cool earring. So I was like,
because they're the chunky ones. No, they're like chunky little claws.
So I was,
and like one of them's like bigger, and it looks like that. Yeah,
it's cute. And so I've been like, I was ripping off all these. Like, I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, let's say a prayer to the crawfish or something. I'm not even like religious, but I was like, let's, honor them in some sort of way. And that's why I had another point earlier. I love people who are like open minded and like don't, because there I am like some crazy woman like ripping hands off of crawfish, and then they're all just looked at me and they're like, this is normal. Yeah. Like, this is fine. Like, you know what, Gracyn, what are you gonna do with them? I showed my art professor. She was like, oh, those would be cool earrings. So, thank you for the support and non-judgment. So yeah, I just need like wire and things. Also, like, need to figure out what to do with like the crab meat that's like still inside. I think maybe like bleach. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll let you know.
Well, you gotta scoop it out.
Yeah.
Just oh, that's nasty.
Lydia's, that's what you're talking about. Because for Lydia's birthday, her birthday cake, I was in my freezer next to my crab hands.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know if I want to eat this anymore. No, I'm just
they're contained. No, I would love to get into making earrings, but right now I just like collect them. I think that's so fun. That's another thing. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like fun to like decorate yourself or like express yourself in some way, and like, but whatever that is.
Now, what about tattoos? How do you feel about tattoos?
I think they're sick. I think explain that one to me. It's beautiful.
Well, when you ask the question, explain this one. It comes down to price.
Yeah.
I really got them because they were cheap.
Yeah, that was cool.
But the reason I started getting tattoos is like, I just need to get started, because if not, then I'm gonna keep saying, oh, I want to get tattoos, and I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh yeah, I was gonna get a tattoo, but I don't know, man. Like, I want to at least get something, and then now I'm actually being more, deliberate about what I want. So I'm thinking a snake.
That'd be sick. I love snakes.
And now the reason for the snake, and this is why I like this class so much about the Bible's literature, the Adam and Eve story, right?
Yeah.
We hear the serpent is the evil, sign of evil. But in a sense, when God told Adam and Eve, hey, don't eat from the tree of knowledge, you're going to die. The serpent has the knowledge to say, hey, Eve, you're not going to die. Trust me. You're not going to die. What metaphorically what it stood for is that their childhood was dying, right? So after they ate the apple, well, it's not even the apple.
Like childhood as in like innocence? Or
innocence, childhood? Because before they ate from the tree of knowledge or from the fruit of the tree, they were not ashamed of being naked.
Yeah.
But after they recognized, oh, we're naked, so they covered themselves up. That comes with maturity, with being, knowing that this is a female body, this is a human, this is a male body. And so they covered themselves up. And I think that idea of the serpent having the knowledge and being in constant battle with evil versus myself being like man, I'm in constant battle with the serpent to know what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why I really want to get that serpent in here, but where the serpent is like going into my skin almost. Yeah. So make it look like it's like engraved into. Cool. Yeah. So make it kind of like a cool effect.
Yeah.
But that's what I was like, that's a badass tattoo,
I just think even if there's no meaning, like it just looks cool.
But yeah, these first two is just like, let me test it out, see how beautiful. It feels. And they're holding up really well.
Yeah. When did you get them?
So I got them in May, which I kind of regret for getting in the summer or in the warmer months. Now, here's why. Because your skin is still healing, right? And when it's the summer months, you want to wear something that's, short sleeve or anything like that. But the sun does a lot of damage.
That's like a tidbit of advice
so
for tattoos.
If you're going to get any tattoos, they recommend, at least my tattoo artist, get them in the winter times. You're already going to be covered up.
Yeah.
They're going to heal a lot better, a lot faster. And then also when, you know, heat comes around and the sun comes around, you're going to be already healed up to where you can wear them and, you know, get into the pool and everything, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, that's
so
really
that's
good. I would love to get tattoos, but I don't know. I feel like I definitely have commitment issues, and piercings to me are way more like easy. It doesn't seem like the commitment. Yeah, just I don't know. So I'm more of a piercing fanatic than I am a tattoo person. But I would love. I just don't know what I would want on my body forever. Like there's so many cool like ideas. Like I don't know.
Well, I think the other question is like, what has been there for you with you forever, right? True. That because that's really what you want to put. Right. Mm-hmm. What has really been there with you forever? My
sister and I might get matching hummingbirds.
Okay.
I think maybe like on the back of my arms or on my side or something. I think that'd be cool because that's like
the sides hurt. The sides hurt.
But I think it'd be cute. And also like I don't know if I want something that like everyone can see all the time. Maybe I'll I'll come around to it.
No, but, maybe. And that is a smart thing to think about, because I did have some regrets with this one, and I really don't want to talk about it here on camera because it could lead to, you know, potentially some harmful things, right? But yeah, there were some things that I didn't think about when I was getting my tattoo, and I was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot, because if I would have gotten caught with that, like especially in gang culture, ooh, that could have been bad. Yeah. So there's I understand that aspect, and it's good that you're thinking about it, because I really was not. I was like, oh, I'm so excited to get ink, just let's go for it head first. So it's good that you're, you know, cognizant of it.
Well, I think there's pros and cons to everything. I like that mindset too of like, let's just jump in. Yeah, so eventually someday, but women, hummingbirds in my family, my sister and I kind of think of them as like women, strong female figures. Like my grandmother always has like hummingbird feeders, and like that is like a really like, anytime I see a hummingbird I think of her and my mom, just like the women in our family being strong women. So I think that'd be a cute little reminder to put on my skin forever. But I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Because the only reason I asked is because of that, you know, personalizing. You like to personalize and stylize yourself.
I think that it comes from this is also fresh off the therapy. I think it comes from, one of my triggers is just like being misunderstood, or like feeling misunderstood, or like unheard, unlistened to, but also like not viewed as like capable or like independent, kind of. I don't know, it's kind of a whole smorgasbord of things. But yeah, so I think that that's like just a little like act of defiance, and is to just be like yourself and like express yourself, like I don't know, and like even if it's not like necessarily like normal or like socially accepted, just like
you do it because you do it, and that's it.
As long as you're not like hurting anyone, like have fun. I don't know, I have a hard time, like sometimes I'll take things really, really seriously, but then I'm like, let's just have fun with it. Like come on, Gracyn. I feel like I'm so like
entangled. You're like, watch out with the cables back here.
That was fun.
Now,
yes.
Last, I think we'll wrap it up with this, but our age, and especially college campuses and college culture, we have this idea, or this, you know, I guess you could put it, this notion that, you know, we're supposed to just have fun and, you know, be in very loose-ended relationships and all this kind of stuff. How have you struggled, or even like worked around love life and stuff like that? Because that's I don't know, for me that's a topic that I think is very interesting, and I don't think it's talked about with, you know, people. Like, how have you like, what do you look for, I guess, in a partner? Like, what does a relationship look like to you right now? Is it like marriage? Is it just having a good time? Is it getting to know people?
I don't know. That is a lot. That's a big question.
It is, yeah.
I love.
And that's how I feel too, and that's why I really wanted to bring it up with you, because you're very in tune with how to express your emotions and put them into words. And I think that's one thing that I need to, you know, work on. But I think this is a good question for you.
That's a good compliment. Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm not that good at, I don't know. I feel like I'm very chaotic, but I'm glad that it's coming out.
Well, it's better than me. I will say that.
I I don't know. I love love. I love romance. I think it's so beautiful. Like I am definitely a romantic for sure. I just love. I think that's like all we have. Like at the end of the day, like all we have is each other, and all we have is love. Like yeah, we have all these like computers and technology and everything, but like what truly matters to me, at least, instead of like success in the traditional sense, is just like sharing love on this like beautiful planet that we're on, and like experiencing it and feeling it, and just like making people feel seen and heard. And like with romance, I think that has definitely been like, that's like I've gotten a lot of attention in high school and college from guys, and so it was very easy for me to be like, oh, you like me? Well, I guess like that you like me, and I like the idea of this, and I like you as like a friend, but I don't really know. But I'm like, sure, I'll try it anyway, and which hasn't been the best option. I think I'm just like seeking it, and I'm like, hello, something stay, but then I'm like, actually, I think we maybe rushed into this, or I did, or like I didn't think this through. So I've definitely had a growing period, but I definitely am still like, I'm in a relationship right now.
Congrats.
Thank you. His name, should remain nameless.
Yeah, you can keep it as anonymous as you want. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been good. I think I really look for like kindness in people, and support, open-mindedness, and I guess just like goodness, like what does it mean to be a good person? I think that is up for interpretation, but as long as you're like trying to like, I don't know, be compassionate, or like that really means a lot to me. And then also a sense of humor. Like I just need to giggle. I need to have, because I can get so serious and so sad and like in my mind, in my own little mind. So I just need to like come back to earth and be like in my body and giggling and having a goofy little time.
Because I like the way that you put it. It's like you want to have that, just, you know, care for someone, to show that you care for someone. And I think it goes back to that same thing that you're talking about. You know, we need community, and it's true. We need a community, but then I feel like we need that other person where we can say, you know what, I'm going to just do this for you out of care and respect, and I think that's one of the things where I'm like, I've struggled the same, but it's been the opposite. It's like, yeah, I don't have many people coming towards me, and I don't have many people, you know, coming out to seek me out, which is fine, right?
I think that's definitely like a social dynamic too, like how women and men are raised differently.
It is. Which is and I'm like that. It sometimes is like, yo, like I'm doing everything right. I'm doing, you know, I'm not involved in you know, very harmful things. Like I'm seen as a good option. I feel like, right? But at times I'm like, yo, I need to be doing more. I'm like, no, then you're forcing it. Yeah. I feel like I'm forcing it for most of the time, and there's really no need for it, right? Because we're still changing and growing like very rapidly here in college, and I think it's important to distinguish, right, that there's no need for this, but it would be really nice. I know, and you need and another difficulty about it is like, you right now you have you and this other person, right? You guys have two ideas of where you want your life to go. And if you don't get on the right track on like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do, this is what I want to do, how can we make it work? Then the whole thing goes to shit, because then you're pulling apart.
It's really hard for sure.
It's difficult.
A lot of work, I think. And even like I've told Lydia this, I've told a lot of people, but I feel like nothing in my life is like normal right now. Like I'm not in a normal like academic program. I'm not really in a normal job. I'm not in a normal relationship in the traditional sense of just like how it was really chaotic, like how it, and kind of messy how it like came to be the beginning of it, but now it's like really good and stable and steady. But it is weird time, even like we're both gonna graduate. He's a senior, I'm gonna be here for another year, so it's like it's like, oh, it's like we
what
actively need
now?
to work actively work about it, and it's like this new thing, and it's like all this like, it's like this little tiny flame that like all this weather events, and you're like just trying to like cover the flame.
That is true.
I don't know, like you can keep it growing and like tend the fire. But yeah. Oh, also you said something earlier about like love and care and community, and I think that I don't know, when I think back on the moments that like make me feel truly alive and special to be here, it's like when love is involved, or like looking at like the earth. I feel very connected to the earth, but I feel like maybe that's a different kind of realm of the same thing, but like when like someone, especially like the little moments of strangers, like little random acts of kindness,
yeah,
like,
that where no one knows you anything, or owes you anything, and they still act out of you know kindness and respect.
Like one time, this I complimented this woman's rings, and she just like gave me one, and I'm
wow,
like, I'm like, oh my god, like that's the type of person I want to be. Like that was so weird and random, and you did not have to do that at all, but that was so cute and sweet and like tender and human, and I live for those little moments. Like that's what keeps me going and keeps me like I think positive and I don't know. It's just crazy that we're all alive together, but yeah, love, and it's hard. I think I had more thoughts, but I forgot what they were. You were saying something, and then I feel like my brain is like going.
Yeah, it's that 3 shots of caffeine of espresso. Jeez, but
they should not be allowed to do that. They should be like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, like they should. They should ask you twice. Like, come on.
Yeah. One time I asked for like 5 shots, and they're I think they gave me 4. It was a hard day. I don't.
But 5?
5. Yeah, I think like, that's not good for your body.
No, I think with just 1 or 2, I'm straight. With 1, I'm like, woo.
Yeah.
So that's why with this 3, I'm like, whoa.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Definitely eat something.
I'm on the rad life. I'm X Games mode right now.
I feel like I struggle between like I oscillate between grandma and like just chaos tornado of a person, and I'm like, okay, well it's bedtime, let's go to bed early, we don't need that, and then versus like I don't care, like we're all gonna die, like let's
I'm a motherfucker.
And then there's this other part of me that's like
just knitting and shit.
No, literally, have you gone to Claire's crochet?
No, I haven't.
It's been 2 quarters. She graduated. What?
But she still lives here, so she'll do. I hope. I think that's the idea.
Get coffee with her.
Yes. I need to call her and check up on her and
what
see
about
how she's
your
doing.
love life?
So that
yes.
It's very I don't know. It's not something I'm putting a priority on right now, mainly because I'm busy. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so for a while there was a time where I was like, yeah, you know what? It would be really nice to have someone that I can, start sharing these college experiences with and like start, forming a life together. But I found it's very difficult, right? It's very difficult to find that person that's willing to, give up a side of them, and me as well. I got to give up a side of myself a little bit, to come together. But I think it's not the time just yet, and I don't know when that is. But I'm always open for things. I'm always like I said, if the opportunity is there, I'm gonna take it full hand. I'm never gonna be like, I don't know. But if I meet someone, let's see how it goes. Let's see where it goes. And it's always like, I'm never actively pursuing one person after another,
Yeah.
Never.
It's definitely like a weird mix of there's never a right time. And also, but also if it does come of like, okay, you actually have to put work into this. And like water it. And it's like a plant that's something that's growing. It's a new thing.
For a while in high school, I was the same way. I was like, I'm gonna get another girlfriend anyway, so I wouldn't put any attention to the person that I was with, which on my end it was kind of fucked up. But at that time I was very naive. I was just like, oh, having a girlfriend is the thing that guys should do, and that especially being surrounded by a lot of masculine other, I guess you could put it like machismo, right? But now it's like, no, should be for me. This should be an image thing, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend for my image. No, that should never be the goal.
See, I've had kind of the opposite. I've had boyfriends who have had that experience with me. They liked me because I looked good, like the idea of me. And so that's kind of a different hard thing to like separate yourself from. And I think also I've struggled with, I like the attention, and I think that also like being raised a woman in in this world is like you kind of need that. That's kind of your value is based off of how attractive you are to men, or how much like worth you bring to men. I don't know, like your value is always like attached to the idea of a man, kind of. Not actually, and I've had to do a lot of unlearning and work with that, but that, and then also being raised a woman and not being able to like say no comfortably, because also like in high school sometimes, and even now, like men can get aggressive if like they hit on you, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry, like because the easiest thing to say is like, I have a boyfriend. That's the thing that they'll respect the most. But
And
like,
then people would be like, well, fuck you too.
Yeah, I know,
And
like,
it's
well, you're an ugly bitch anyway. And it's like, okay, well, that was mean. And also, like, I don't know, it's kind of unsafe at sometimes.
Yeah,
but so learning how to say no and like be myself and like, I don't know, advocate for myself and what I truly want and like being able to know that. But then also like, I don't know, like I can give myself attention. I don't need to seek validation, like looking where that is coming from and then like healing it wherever it stems from. But it is definitely, and also like, I feel like love is like shoved down your throat, like when the movies kind of are like, this is how it should be. This is and it's
and that's another thing. I'm like, I base a lot of what the feelings or the things that I should do off of movies and shows, and I'm like, every situation is different.
Yeah,
there should be different things that you do with different people. That like the things that you do to share care or affection, they should always be different. It's not always going to be like a same. Oh, well, now that I have a girlfriend, I can buy her flowers. And now that I have a girlfriend, I can, those things are nice, right? But sometimes it's not going to, not everyone is the same and they like those types of things.
And and that's icky when
there's like a set plan.
Yeah,
right?
or like you go on, you realize that they've taken you on all these dates with other girls, like the same location with another girl. That's weird. And like, I don't know, isn't it like just so special when you have something that's like unique and different in your own way and like honoring both of you? Like that's like something to live for. I don't know. Like I hope that everyone can have like a kissing in the rain if they want it, but like not really that cliche experience.
Yeah.
But that same level, but in their own whatever works.
That
for
motif,
them. Yes,
almost, right? That motif. But can you believe it? We've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes.
That is crazy.
Feels like
this was fun. I know. I actually have so much to talk about. This was so fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being so willing to come out and.
I feel like I kind of like was I was like, you have a podcast. Can I come? I feel like I wasn't.
No, I'm always like happy that people are willing to, because this is just the weird thing that I do on my free time.
It's so cool.
But it's so fun. But yes, please follow us on Instagram.
Yes, I will.
On Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Definitely recommend that you watch the video.
Yes, I will.
That's where you have the most fun, because you can see all the reactions, all the live interactions.
This is also like this is what I've been like looking for sometimes when I'm like going to bed. I'd like to just like watch people talking in like a chill environment about like, I think that's like, I don't know, that's what I want.
Well, it's interesting because look, we go to the same school, we're in the same community, we live in the same geographic location, but we still don't know who the fuck we are.
I know. Also,
right?
Like no one knows, and also
nobody like even the other people that we go to school with here, we don't know half of the shit about them.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people I don't interact with any of the business kids or like the jocks really, or like I'm just so in my own little world. It's insane, and it's like, I don't know, like I'm sure that someone's gonna get famous in our lifetime, and it's like, oh, I went to college with them, but I have no idea who they are.
Yeah,
or like I probably like passed them on the. Crazy we all have our little lives. There are so many people in the world.
Yes.
All of our little cars. Okay, sorry.
But please give a round of applause. A symbolic round of applause wherever you are for Gracyn. And yeah, hopefully this was a productive conversation that helped you realize self-care and self-love is important, because that's something that I'm working on, and I think Gracyn the same as well.
Yeah.
Where it's a constant dedication to yourself.
It is.
And yeah,
just take care of yourself. Like, what do you need right now?
Yeah. If you need a meal, go get a meal. If you need a drink, go get a drink. If you need some water, go get some water.
Or maybe take your little body out for a little walk.
Yes,
like,
that too.
We are kind of like dogs. Like, we need to exercise. I don't know. Like, it's kind of like we are a pet. You have to take care of yourself.
Little wow-wows.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this was a very productive. Yeah. Thank you for this, and
so
yeah, peace out, guys.
This was such an honor. Which one?
All of them. All right.